Ladies and gentlemen, it's a Sunday in Switzerland and we have two projects today. Well, actually, it's just one project because the other one will take a little bit longer and I need professional help. That sounds crazy. Yeah, well, professional help. So the first thing is, as you can see, this is open. That's because it was so hot that the lids have just started to lose all of their moisture inside. So they started looking like this. And I don't know if you see it, that is not straight. So they've sort of have now evolved into curves. I mean, it looks lovely, but there are only two options that my best friends told me that I have. Option one is I put all of them outside into a cellar, weigh them down so that they're straight again, and then put something called a U-profile right here to make them more durable, because actually this is sort of also my floor and my wardrobe, so I'm gonna be stepping on them. And actually one of them already broke in the middle, which I wasn't aware of. So the other option is to redo them. A friend of mine, he explained to me that on construction sites they use wood that is sort of like layered. So one layer is like this and then the other is on top, and then there's a third layer going like this again. So he agreed to help me. It's time to clean this van. Ladies and gentlemen, we are cleaning this van, bottom to top, every inch of it. Getting real now. Hello, my beloved souls, hello. I am on the eve of my departure. I know I say this a lot, but I mean I depart to friends, but now I'm really departing to being on my own and thoroughly living in here. I've been sleeping in here for a week now. And I've been gathering all the things I need to finally go. I can't really fathom it at all, but I'm ready. And I thought before we really kicked this VanLog series off, I wanted to show you the creation. Because so much sweat and tears and money and exhaustion and determination and passion and dreams and vision flooded into this project that I felt like I wanted to remind myself of what was created here. So I'm gonna take you on a tour. This is how I set up my Citroën CH van. So the first thing that I worked on, as you know from the first VanLog, is this body that basically represents the floor of my living room, my bedroom, my working area, my bad weather plan B, and the thing that holds all my stuff. So what I had first was like massive wood that was just one layer in one direction, and then as soon as it got hot, within the first 3-4 days, it started to bend upwards. As you can see here, I hope you can, this has 3 layers. So there's one straight, one up, one straight. And the thing is, these ones, they use them on construction sites because they don't bend themselves regardless of the weather conditions. The back one has all of the kitchen stuff that I need. I am cooking with a gas stove, so I have these little camping gas bottles, and this one is a covia, comes with this pot. First I cook and try to cook in one pot. It's much better to just have one thing to wash off, and also most things I cook are veg anyway, or like stuff like rice, or a tin. If I'm very lazy, I'm not even cooking and I'm just eating like cereals. So the second most important thing is coffee. I ordered this French press. So this is my setup. All my cooking is back here. And this one, there is a spare water tank, because I only want to have one water tank out here and the other in here. Initially I planned on buying 2 foldable water bags as well, water canisters, water containers, foldable ones, but money ran out. So I think I'm gonna just wing it while on the road. And then there's also like all the hygiene products and like bathing and washing and stuff like that. In here I have all the stuff that is sort of like the outdoorsy things. So it includes the bag for the netting in here, because I have put up on the roof, I have put up a mosquito net, because I love the Nordic countries, right? And in the summertime there's a lot of mosquitoes there. I hope there's not a lot in the coastal area, because that is the experience I made in Scotland on the island. So as soon as you're like by the coast, because of the draft and the wind, there are less mosquitoes. So I just hope that this is an additional safety net that I don't need. But I have that in here. I have the equipment for the tent. The tent I got from a friend, because the one I ordered still is at customs and has been for 1.5 months. So I think I'm gonna just return it or gift it to someone else, or maybe we store it and then when I come back I'm happy to have a spare one, and when this broke or something. The only difference between the one I ordered and the one I have now is that the one I ordered has like a floor as well, whereas this is on bare ground. But I have a picnic insulated picnic blanket, and so it's a nice setup. It doesn't really matter, and I'm so blessed that this friend of mine who I was working with 5 years ago when I still had an office job didn't need it anymore, and now I have it, and it's lovely. The setup took me, I think, about an hour, because there was no real instructions, and I haven't been camping at all for ages. And when I say ages, it's probably like 7 years or something. And if I was camping, someone else would tell me what to do when we set up the tent. So I wasn't ready for that, but I was determined to find out how it works. And now that I know where all of the poles go, I think I can probably set it up in half an hour. So it is lovely, and this extra space, like it's an extra living room, it's a space where I can stand up, so it's easier to change my clothes. It's nice to have an extra room when it's rainy, and it's also nice having an extra room for Marjorie, because the climate in here, if everything's closed and it's warm in the night, it really doesn't work for her because she gets so hot. So with that setup, I can just be safe within the mosquito net and have the trunk open, and she can lie on the ground and I can close everything up, and then she's safe, I'm safe, she's not too hot and I'm not too cold. So this extra space, I didn't know why I was reluctant to order one. I think it was because of the research, because whenever I want to buy something, I really want to like dive into a rabbit hole and research everything. So the research on this one, I think, was about, I don't know, 10 hours of YouTube videos and reviews and comments on the internet. And then the one I ordered didn't even came. But I am so happy now that I have this extra space. It's absolutely lovely. So inside there is also a solar shower. So it's just like a bag with a shower head attached, so that I can like put it on a tree and then just shower myself off if I don't want to go into the lake or whatever. Like, I just wanted to have that in case I feel dirty and I just want to shower off. And technically I can use this space now to have a proper shower without being observed too, because the ground is open. So that's a nice thing to have. I also have a water bucket in here because I have a water filtration system. As like a system, it's more like it's like a thing you put onto a bottle and then it filters the water. So if push comes to shove, I can just basically get a bucket full of water from any source and then just filter it through into my drinking bottle or my drinking canister. And then in here I have everything that is necessary for my hobbies, for my podcast, for crafting, arts and crafts, for macrame, knitting, sewing, drawing, creation, and also everything I need for my office work and books. So this is dedicated to pure freedom, I would say, and free time. Then I have this one, and this one contains all of the bedding I need. So I have 2 sets of bedding. You saw the bench outside. So this is a foldable mattress that I can use in multiple ways. I love the company. I am not sponsored by them, but liveasia.co.uk. I think they are also in Germany or something. But they have this huge variation of stuff that is multi-purpose, and it looks lovely, and it is at heart a good thing that they try to do with their company. And I like companies that really try to make a difference and sort of a green economy that comes from grassroots movements. And liveasia.co.uk is where I ordered it, and it serves as a mattress. So when I'm sleeping and not using it in another way, I just put like a sheet on top, and then Marjorie has her sleeping blanket as well. And then I have a self-sewn pillow, and I made that pillow out of the sleeping bag. So the sleeping bag I bought because when I was in Ireland, I had this lovely cozy warm sleeping bag that wasn't really a sleeping bag. You could zip it up, yes, but you had your arms free, and it was sort of like a long insulating dress, and I loved it, but I had to give it away because, as you might know, I wasn't able to buy a car in the UK, and sending all of the stuff would have been too expensive, so I had to like improvise and buy everything new. But there's this lovely concept here in Switzerland that's a second-hand store, so it's like a trendy culture even to like find neat, lovely things that need a second home. And I got this very old sleeping bag, and I cut the end off, and out of the end of the sleeping bag, to not throw it away, I repurposed it as a pillow. So I have like a neck pillow. I usually don't even use a pillow, but I thought, well, I have this now, so I sewed that together and then made myself like a dress. It's not that elegant as the one I bought and had to give away, but it suffices. And I mean, I think along the way I will learn so much more about what works and what doesn't. I also have 2 water bottles in here, and sheets and blankets, and a big one if I get really cold, like a big one that was gifted to me by my friend in Austria. So everything I need for sleeping is in here. And then in the first 2, there's all of my clothes. There's a big backpack. If I go on a huge hike, I take the big backpack with me, but empty, so that when my dog, she's elderly, she's 10. I mean, she's really fit, but if she gets too tired, then I have an option how to carry her. Because carrying her like this is she's not working. So I have the empty backpack, and then I have all of my warm clothes in there, and here I have all of my trousers, underwear, everything. And then on the first one, that's just everything related to the car, really. You never know what happens, and I can't be safe with everything, but I know that if I have something where I can push the car up so I can like change a tire or something, that's good. I also need like the liquids, like cooling the motor oil, and something for the windshield to clean. So I have everything related to the car and some spare things from the blinds I made in there too. The blinds, oh my goodness, that was a job too. Whoa. So it took me 1.5 months. It took me 1.5 months, partly because I was procrastinating because I knew it was such a big project. This car doesn't have any darkened windows, so it was really exposed. I didn't feel very safe going without blinds, and I watched a lot of YouTube videos and did a lot of research on all of them. So the one that I thought was the best I will link up here, but I took the idea of those bubble wrapped insulation foil, and then I covered them with some opaque fabric that I bought. I made the shape of it already in Austria, which you can see in VanLog 1, and then I perfected it because there were gaps here and there. It's quite hard to get like the shape right of your window. I tried it with tin foil and that worked, but then in the end I ended up using those old blinds that are just out of very cheap insulation foil, and then use them as the shape. And then from there I cut out this one, the bubble insulation, and then cut out the fabric from the bubble insulation shape, and then I used tape around it, duct tape, because that was what the guy in the video said. Turns out that duct tape doesn't really work like that. As soon as it gets hot, it just peels off. So then I needed to find someone who still has like those pistols that you use to put paper together, because as you can see, there's a they're going from the outside in and then from the inside out as well, just to really be sure that it holds. And without that, it wouldn't be possible to use that. I also additionally, my friend had the idea to use some edding and some black paint to make the silver of those metal things black as well, so that it even looks neater now from the outside and not suspicious. So I did those. I'm so happy with the result. I feel so much safer now in here with them. And I think the last days basically were all about the curtains, because I wanted to divide the front from the back. And I just did a lot of sewing. It was my first time using a sewing machine. It was quite the adventure. And then On the right side to me, my partner in crime is Marjorie, my dog. She has the whole front ride to herself, and we built an additional bridge because in this car the handbrake is on the left side, so the whole space between the passenger and driving seat was empty. Now there's all of my electricity in there, like all of my electronic things are in there. There is like this little Hoover that I use because I thought I'm gonna go on an adventure with my dog in a very limited space. I like it clean, so I need a Hoover, and this one is charged by USB, so it worked quite well. And then I also have like a small thing that I can attach to my cigarette lighter, and that basically is there to charge during driving the smaller things like my sound box and the Hoover and my phone, for example. But overall the middle space just serves as the storage room, but it was thought up because I wanted Marjorie to be able to use more and just stretch out if I wanted to drive longer for a day. And the whole space where your feet go is dedicated to her food. I'm gonna load that up tomorrow morning before I go. But yeah, that's her space. And then on the right side I have attached also for Marjorie like a little thing that makes it easier for her to get into the car. And then on the left side I have my shoes and the second water canister. I have this one out here because I wanted one that I can access all the time, and if I sleep on my storage room I need to have like little spaces where I can get the things I need during the night or like easily. So I have one outside and one in here, and I still want to have like a little bit of a rubber mat on the outside of where my shoes are to not like hurt the wood if it's wet and I have to attach the shoes and some stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, that's basically the setup. I mean, I have herbs that supposedly hold away mosquitoes as well. And fingers crossed, I won't get eaten up alive. But that's the setup. It's just absolutely mind-blowing that I'm finally here. I got the car at the end of May, so it doesn't sound like a long time, 2 months, but so much has been going on up to the point until I found a car, and then a lot more has gone on since I got the car. And now that I'm gonna leave tomorrow, I feel like, wow, it's been quite the journey. And I'm not like overly overwhelmed. I think I'm ready. But my last words that I wanted to say before I pack up the tent and get my laundry and put it in the car and prepare was a huge shout out to all of my friends. I thought you buy a car and then you sort of convert it and then you go. And I really want to stress the fact that this journey taught me so much more, not just in the skills of like how to work with wood or how to make up a plan B if plan A, or a plan D if a plan A, B, C and E doesn't work, but also how your friends, my friends, are just the most special people in the world. I showed you the little altar with the Buddha in the front of the car, and the reason this one is there is so that I don't forget how much I am loved and cared for, how much I'm understood and held. And I'm a little teary right now because so much of this project wouldn't have been possible without my friends. And also, since I got here to Switzerland, everyone has been so welcoming and so loving and motivating, and I want this altar at the front to always remind me that we are not renegades, how my friends always want the best for me and just are there all the time. And I wanted this outro of the VanLog to dedicated to all of you, my beloved loves. I'm so grateful for you with all the help, with the gifts, with the ideas, and with just being there for me when I was struggling and when I wasn't sure what I'm doing or if I was able to continue and go on, and why I even was doing this. And all of this is only possible because of you. And I thank you with all my heart that you see the light in me that I sometimes forget I have, and that you encourage me, and that you're always there. And I just wanted you to know that without you, I wouldn't be able to be where I am now today. And I certainly wouldn't be able to drive off tomorrow and live my dreams. So thank you from the bottom of my heart that you are there to support me realize my dream. And this goes out to all of you watching as well. I know that it doesn't seem like it, but sometimes creating a VanLog, a vlog, a podcast, whatever it is, it's hard work. I enjoy it, I love it. It's content that from the idea or the vision to the conclusion and the upload and the result comes from within me and within my heart. And it's like this striving to be of service to people that makes me do it, that make me want to do it and keep me consistently continuing to do it. But you watching out there and knowing that it serves at least one person, if I'm lucky, is what keeps me going. So to all of you watching as well, and to all of my friends who are watching and seeing this, I know I tell you all the time, I love you, you're so special, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart, helping me realize my dream, driving off to the north, finally.